like 15 paintings ready to frame, and
Yeah,
yeah,
nice.
really pleased with what came out of the class. Now, some of them are sitting over there in the reject pile, but
Yeah, yeah. So, what you gonna do with them? You got a show?
yeah, there's a couple open calls coming up.
Good.
Yeah, so yeah, and I give them away, whatever.
You give them away framed? I
Um, only,
like.
only to friends and never publicly.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I'm also working on getting my Facebook business page together. So
yeah.
yeah, they haven't done that.
Hi, Jim.
Who else? There's Laura. Hey, Laura, how are you?
Hey, Laura.
Figured you'd be happy for this one, Laura. Yeah, she's not even there. She just said hi and ran off.
No, it was Marcia.
Oh, that was Marcia.
Yes.
I didn't see her. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you're right. You're okay. Yeah, you come at the. Yeah, you're after your iPhone. Everybody else just has their name on it. That's why I thought that was Laura. Sorry about that.
I forgive you.
It's not an insult.
No, I know that.
Yeah. Okay.
Marcia, how are you feeling after your fall?
Oh, pretty good, except I had another fall and now I have a black eye.
Oh no.
Oh, put her on screen.
Well, I could give you a medical history, but I won't. Neck, back, leg, et cetera, et cetera. But we just put in a low threshold shower. Best thing I ever did.
That's one next on our list, but it's going to be a while. I think the contractor's out till September.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's definitely something we're going to do.
it made such a difference in terms of my security.
Yeah.
And it's roomy. We've got another bathroom with a tub in it in case people want to bathe children or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the best thing I ever did.
Well,
And
good. I'm
yeah,
looking forward to getting that done. It's just getting on the schedule.
I
Uh,
I actually had a consultant come in and do a aging in place study of the house
yeah.
to see what else we could do to make it safe because I've had so many falls.
Well, mine seems to be connected to the lumbar scoliosis I just found out I have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it doesn't hurt. I don't know how long I've had it, but I'm starting PT for that next week, and I'm going to go see a gait specialist
Uh-huh.
and see what they suggest. Probably lift in one of my shoes.
Yeah.
This getting older business, there's so much they don't tell you. If we knew we were going to have to do all this rigmarole, would we have grown up?
Tell you think about it, go, shit. Everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
Yep. Same here.
My anxiety levels are off the wall. I can't even watch TV anymore.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, don't even watch. Turn it on.
I just don't need the torment. Jim, would you recommend a good brand of palette knife? Because I seem to have some that are just, they bend. They're cheap.
They bend. Okay, I'll show you mine. Mine aren't that fancy or anything. I get them at Blix and stuff, though. Nothing too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And who are they made by? Oh God, if I can even see. The name's been wore off a long time ago. That one.
Does yours have a lot of spring in them?
They bend pretty good. They don't, but they always come back to straight, So, they bend, pretty much like that. Have like a about
Right.
halfway or so, and they always come back pretty strong. Yeah, I'll look it up. I think I can't be sure what it is.
Yeah, I think at one point you mentioned one that you preferred. So
Is
Yeah.
it laying nickel?
No, not laying nickels.
Oh, it isn't?
No, we were talking about our palette knives.
Yeah, this is a laying nickel palette knife I have.
You have a laying nickel? Really?
Yeah, I got it on eBay.
Oh, nice. No, I mine is some Italian thing. Really fancy schmancy. No.
Like
That's
this
the only
one?
teardrop one I could find.
Yeah.
I have this Italian one that I like,
Yeah.
but I hardly ever use them because I don't know how.
Well, that's what we're here for today.
And I have a bunch of plastic ones because I have some of the bigger palette knives. I can't hang on to them.
I understand. I have some friends who that's what they do is they have plastic knives. They use plastic knives for their palette knives, and they work out pretty well at all to do some decent work. A lot of people you can use pretty much anything. That's what it's today is going to be more about whatever you can use to try to replace the brush a little bit. Um, but this is last week's. This is how far I got. I didn't. I tightened it up from class a little bit, and most of that work was done with my palette knife. That's what the palette knife can do. It keeps you from getting in there and getting too tight. I always bring out my palette knife whenever I feel like I'm overworking my painting. I'll bring out my palette knife and work with that for a little bit because that just seems to loosen the painting back up and keeps it from me from getting in there and noodling too much, which it happens. It really does. It's just like that.
That's gorgeous. Are you going to post that for us?
I posted it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, you just gotta, I think
It's a beauty.
it's okay. It's okay. It works. We'll put it here in the drying rack. Well, with everything else, and wait till it dries and see if we can get rid of it.
Mine from last week, close up it looks terrible, but from far away it doesn't look too bad.
That's what we shoot for. We always shoot for not too bad.
But you get up close and it looks like kindergarten.
Oh, that happens. It happens with these things, especially when you're working with something that a lot of indications that we're trying to get, do big information, but trying to just suggest it. It's always tough. Sometimes kindergartners are right, though. Ask Picasso. That's what he said. He took his whole life to learn to draw like a kindergartner. So anyway, let's get a move on. We good? Okay. It is palette knife week. I'll try to take it easy on you guys. I'm trying to take it easy on myself, really. Going to just try to keep the number of colors down. Trying to let the palette knife, work the colors with the palette knife a little bit on the board here. Do your secondary mixes and stuff like that. Your third there, you're going to get a lot of first. We'll get the first stuff in and then use the two together and make that secondary one. Colors and stuff. Try to see if we can get a nice variety of colors. And we'll get enough good scratches in there. Gonna get a lot of scratches today with this one. I can't even remember where I got this one. I know I was painting haystacks and corn stalks there for a while, and one of they sold pretty quick, so I kept painting them. But this is one I found later, and I kind of liked it. It was kind of a winter scene, and I added all the crows in here. I was thought I wanted to get some life to it because they were just kind of mannequin-y, sitting up there and taking their spot. So I wanted to get some life to it. And also that's, after I decided we're going to do this for a class, I decided, let's make it hard for these guys. Let's really make a hard one for a palette knife painting. So let me pull it up. So here you go. You got the nice little palette knife or field. A lot of stocks. Value wise in this whole thing, look at it. I'm just looking at the values of it. They are very grayed and grayed out, which is good for us because that's what we kind of work towards. We always stay towards this really gray area. So that should work pretty well with our stuff. But here it is in black and white though. And you can see that most of these values in here, the darker values are only like eighths. The birds themselves are the darkest things you have, and I added those. So, we're not going to paint the birds to the very, very end. Okay, so we kind of could have gave it to you without the birds and said add the birds, but I decided to throw the birds in there. Values again, really, we're going to go from about eighths to about values of 3, maybe 2 at the most for the little bit of the snow, but nothing near white. So we should be good that way. So that's you can start to see it. You can also see if there's any problems. The only little teeny problem I see is right here where these two can eat. There's one stack behind the other one, and I would say you probably don't even need this one back here. I'll just always this is gonna, I'm taking it out myself. It's not a big deal. As you can see, it just gets in the way. There's always, for me, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to go, okay, there's always this little teeny thing sticking out here, and I'll never make sense out of it. So I'm just not going to even put it in. I'm just going to keep this thing going up straight up and finish it off at top. Okay. Let me get rid of that. Oops. Okay, well, now it doesn't want to let me do anything here. Can't get out. Okay. 1 second. Okay, there it goes. Going to close that out for a second, bring it back up. Some reason my something wasn't opening up, so I couldn't draw. Really nice colors I liked in it. I like the design. I think the design of this down below is going to be kind of a key little area to feed us in. As you can see how I drew it in, how it feeds you in here, and it kind of just keeps you going with the way these guys go. And then you kind of start to see the design of the cut down stalks in the ground here. You can start to see how they just start to wind around. And I'm going to count each one of these guys. I know the exact number. So you guys are going to have some fun putting those guys. Now, indications. This is great for indications, but the dark stuff we put in at the end. You don't want to pay. That's the great thing about a knife. We'll be able to put all the light stuff in. We're going to have some fun with it. Have some good, get some good colors going in there. And then we're just going to come in and just scratch, do some scratches in there and make everything else. Same with when we work on this guy. Here, let me blow him up. what we're going to do is pretty much take him, paint all the darks, work dark to light, get all your really darks. Pretty much one of the things you don't want, you just want to shove them all in underneath in there. And then since we'll be working with thicker paint, we're just going to build on out from the back end. So we're going to have some real thick stuff, but then we're going to get some nice little thin stuff coming in here, drawing on top. And then we're going to go to a lighter color and get the frost stuff. It should come out pretty quickly and pretty simply. It looks like a lot of dashes like that, but that's how fast you put them in too. You don't think about them too much. You just try to pick out the ones that are just really gonna make some shape and in the stalk itself. You don't want to we want different strokes, so you want to look for big ones, little ones, different directions. You want to have some curls to them. You want to have some little things to them. You want them to break out on the sides a little bit. We don't want a straight line on the sides. You want stuff to cut out a little bit. So we're going to try and get, remember that. A lot of that, so we'll probably be going back and forth a little bit on the putting in the whites and things, but and then putting in the stalks. That's what I'm thinking is going to end up happening. But the background, come on, get out of here. Okay, but the farther back stuff, pretty much, we do need some calmer, quieter areas in the painting. So this back area back in here, the greens, a little bit of brown, a little bit of white, and then the trees back in here. As you can see, they're not too chaotic. They are a little bit soft, and they don't just, they have a little bit of place, but they're not real, contrasty. They have a nice softness to them, against the air back here, the sky. So we're going to try and get that. We can, a lot of times you're going to end up using your finger for those things. Basically, that's what's going to end up happening. The sky itself, it's kind of bland, but it has a nice gray to it. Probably going to try and build, one of the things when we do the knife's going to add in a little bit of color too to it. One of the things when you use a knife, you're going to get, when you go dark, it's going to go darker than you think it is, because the knife is going to grab more paint and it's going to go on thicker. It's going to seem darker. Same with the lightness. It's always going to go a little bit lighter than you think it is, because it's going to grab, the paint's going to be thicker and it's just going to seem lighter than it would. So we're going to try and use that as in our painting, and we're going to try and get some really thin scratch paint on there, and then we're trying to build some paint on there too, because you're going to find you want both. You don't want one thickness of paint throughout the paint. You can do that. I've seen some gorgeous painting like that, but I want to have thickness and thinness of the paint. And that's what's really going to be cool. That's how we can use that as another way to create perspective in our paintings, just because of the thickness of the paint can come forward. So that's what I'm thinking there. Colors are very muted, so we're going to try to keep it easy, but muted colors, but they're going to all work together so well. So we can mess up as much as we want with our knife, and it should still be very neat. So that's my guess. Any questions? Okay. Well, let's get it.
One question. Is that haystack in the middle okay, or is it a little bit on the right?
The one,
the big one in the center.
Oh, he's slightly off a little bit. Okay. Yeah, you can push him off a little bit. Okay. One of the things I was mentioning, trying to think about was this line here that these guys are going to kind of line up. So that's, if you slide them over, you might slide one of the other ones over just to get these tips. So you can see how far they lean. They don't all lean the exact same. Some of them go more straight up. So you can always cheat it a little bit too. If you took and leaned it a little bit more from where it was and
Yeah.
leaned it outside, would be kind of cool too. But if you're not, you can also, push it back a little bit and give it a little bit more room, or push it this way and give it probably a little bit more room that way. Whatever, which way you want to, get it out of the middle. But it's really not, it's in the middle, but it's not in the middle of the painting. So that's the thing. Okay. Let's get over to where we should be. Okay, close that down. Okay, close that down. Let's get over to the palette and get all these colors down, because we're going to take forever to paint this. Now, we've done this class before, and we all know it's going to start off very slow, and it's going to look like crap probably 3/4 of the way through before it even looks like anything. And then we'll quit, and then you guys are going to go, oh shit, I'm not coming back to it. But we're going to come back to it. So
What draws you in, Jim?
what draws you in on this painting?
Yes.
I would say it's this guy right here now. This guy right in the middle. He's a little bit off to the right here a little bit. But what's going to bring you in is this grass, this right here. As you can see the angle of it, how it angles in, and then it picks up these swoops of these of the cut down stacks or cut down stalks here. And you can just see it radiate back in. It's radiating back in. And that's what's going to pull us all in. This leaning one here is a good one too. So if you got these two knocked out right, and this one's nice so really we hit 3 of them. We have to do nice. The rest of them are just going to be 2 seconds to do.
Okay.
Don't believe me. You don't have to believe me. So all we need is a knife. One big brush. I'll give you one big brush for toning and drawing in. But everything else, you're on your own. There, I gotta straighten this out. Color's not bad on this, but it's a little cooler. It's a little warmer on my screen than this. This is a little cool, but it's not bad for winter. Like I was saying, most of the dark, there's really not too many darks, but we're gonna mix up a few anyway. Definitely gray tones. Think of gray tones. What's gonna give you some cool gray tones? So we're gonna start off with green and red, right? A couple greens and reds. And being, like I said, being palette knife, it will take a lot of paint. I mean, we're going to take a little bit, probably more paint. So we're going to try and cut down the number of paints we do. So this is just going to be alizarin and phthalo green. I'm thinking this might end up being the sky color at the end when we tone everything down right. So 1 on the green side, 1 on the red side, pretty much even when you go down to here, we're going to want them kind of close together. All right, let's leave those. Like I said, decent sized piles. Our cool one, I'm thinking that could almost get a lot of the greens and the purples and the sky. There is another one I'd like to have. Again, green. I would go green and oxide red light. I didn't even tell you the colors, did I, this time? That's how much in a hurry I am. One on the red side, one on the green side. 1 second here, I go through the colors. You guys keep mixing. So green side, red side. Probably good amount of red side, probably too, because we'll probably have to add red in the end. So we got titanium white, cad yellow light. I got a couple other yellows here left over, but not using them. Cad red light. This is cad orange. This is whatever I have left over of some ochre. That's orange ochre. Usually, and here we have oxide red light, alizarin crimson, cobalt blue hue, phthalo green, and some burnt sienna up here. Burnt umber too. Burnt umber. How much do I got here? Okay. One of the things about this paint, you know, when you're using thick paint, sometimes it takes a while to dry. So I'm thinking about toning my canvas with burnt sienna, burnt umber, because burnt umber is one of those natural drying paints that's gonna pretty much suck the oil out of everything and dry everything because it's made out of dirt. Okay, so we start off with phthalo green and alizarins. Now we went to phthalo green and oxide red light. And I think I'm going to go with some blue and oxide red light. That always is a great gray. That was really on the red side. I'll take whatever's left of that, put in this blue here a little bit. Try and keep my blue, but it doesn't look like. Gonna have to put some more blue out. Just to get it down. These are pretty dark, these colors here. These are gonna probably end up, you know, we're gonna have to tone them back down. As you can see, anything dark in here, it's really too dark almost for anything except for the birds. But I want a couple grayed out things. So I am gonna do blue and burnt umber. I could do burnt sienna. Burnt sienna too might have been a nice, good one too. But this is kind of a cool gray. That is probably on the brown side. I will put some more blue in it. Don't need that much blue in it. There we go. All right, those are your colors for the night. Got to get take these guys, find a nice mid-tone range, something probably, you know, probably right in here. You know, so probably that would probably be about a 6, maybe not quite that much, maybe 7. So I'm just going to split these piles. You don't have to leave much dark up there. And we're going to just add just enough white to make them right around 6. 7 would have been good too. little hard to tell print out here. Yeah, we'll go 6, 7. So. And that'll be your painting pretty much. I mean, yeah, you got to do the white and the sky, and that's about it. Just about a 7. Just a touch more white. Just a touch more red in it, so it's different. Right now, they're too close. Those two colors are too close, so really pushing the red in it a little bit more on this side. There we go. You can see what I'm going to show you. It's going to see. I could see it up there. Now you see, even it's cool there, but you come over here and you put it there, and it's warm. So that tells me just a little more alizarin in the color. Big old pile. There we go. I'm going to live with that one. That probably tells me the green's probably going to be a little bit strong too. So cool it off with more alizarin too. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good though. That's a nice grayed out color. All right. Keep going. The next one's phthalo green and oxide red light. The green side. This is where I was hoping was going to be back in the far back grass area, this value. As you can see, not at this value, but up front, it might. And on the red side should be really nice. Here we go. Yeah, the red's gonna get in a lot of this stuff down to the bottom. It's gonna start getting into the stalks really nice. So let's make sure you got a decent pile of that. This other color, next one's the phthalo green and oxide red light. Should be right there too. Should be nice, another nice color to push in here because of the red. Oh yeah, you can see that really nice. It even comes forward a little bit more than that. So if I place this color in front, that color behind in areas, yeah, it should, you know, give me some depth, nice depth. Okay. Then the blue, gray. I probably whited this out too far. I think that's right there at 6. I'm thinking about back in here. I might have went too far. I'm just going to darken in this, tone out this home pile back in here a little bit. I can use it back there. Didn't have to go quite as far. I can keep it down. So let's see the blue and the burnt umber. Okay. Nice warm gray. Probably get it in a little bit of these guys. Probably just a little dark yet. Let's see the blue side. Lighten this up a little bit more. Okay. So we're not going to make up too many more colors here. We don't have anything really special showing through. The birds definitely can come from this burnt umber and blues mixes, or phthalo greens and other dark ones. We'll figure that out. Great. I'm just going to go and let's start mixing up the last light colors. Going to bring these guys down, and we're going to take these guys to, like I said, about a 3s and 4s values to get this wall light, to get these mid-tones here and down here. And then we'll mix up a little bit of more light for the one of these are going to tell us where this snow is going to land and where the sky is going to be. So let's try not to rush it. So just about the same amount of white added to each one of these piles. Equal should do it. That's a 4. So I'm going to leave it at 4 because I don't want to wipe out the color. As you can see that how it kind of wipes it out pretty good. This is the red side of that, phthalo green, and I think you can start to see how that goes. See, I probably need to go a little higher on this. We can even that might be too low. So we'll see. Let's see what the green does here. Get it to about a, this might be right to close to a 3 or 4. Yeah, that's what I was thinking right here for that little strip there. It might be just a little clean. What I mean by clean, it's just a little bit too perfect. We're going to get to darken it down. That's where these colors around it, I put those in before that we put the green on top. Get some reds and purples in there. We should get a nice, it should sit down nicely on top of those colors and play well. Okay, this colors turn out really good. These two colors here are going to do yeoman's work down in here into the, you guys probably can't even see that, down in here. You can see that's going to work really well. So these colors right here are going to really do a nice combining back in here, and then the darker ones are going to be coming up more in here, inside there. We just need to get a few more warms made up right now. We don't have any warm enough colors to make anything jump. So, but we don't have to go that far, I don't think, to get some warmth, because value-wise, we're all right there. You can start to see how values start to work in this thing. So, well, that's why Impressionists were so strong, is because they were, values were doing all the major work in their paintings. You can see you can put a lot of this thing. So, okay, that's a lot warmer than that. So that color might need to be grayed out. I mean, it's going to be grayed out. Then I have this one. There's a cool version of that. This is blue and burnt umber. Yeah, you can see wow, that pretty much nails it. And that's the value. Look how high that is back there. Okay. So all we need to do now is come up with some warms, colors, and not ruin my brushes. Don't steal paint either. We need some red browns. Red browns and some yellowish colors. So we're going to try, I'm going to take a few of these greens and blues here and bring them down here. Small pieces, don't want it to be that much. Reds, just going to take these. I'm not going to take the purple ones at the beginning, but I'll take these blue ones and brown ones and bring these guys down. And I'm going to add just a bit of cad yellow to each. No, cad orange. Cad orange, cad red. If I use cad yellow, this would turn fluorescent green. And I wanted kind of a grayed out color. So more orange. Oranges and reds probably in these guys.
Well, what are you mixing the orange into?
I'm mixing it into phthalo green and oxide red with a little bit of white. That's what these guys are. That's the green side. This is the red side of that. Oxide red and phthalo green. Good call. And just putting a little bit of orange in. See what happens. I think I'll get all the colors I need out of that. I could use cad red too. I need a rich color, but I think I got enough rich ones up there for the little spots I'll need. So, and I didn't want to use cad yellow because it was just going to, even though I mentioned it, I kind of feel like it was going to just dive in here and I could feel it going to turn it gray on me. Or green, not gray. So that's the last of my cad orange. So this is going to have to do. I'll add just a little bit of cad red to this then. So I'll have one that has a little cad red in it. And that'll be all. See, as you can see, cad red's all over in here. So add orange too. All right. I'll go through the colors again and we'll get this thing working. All right. I didn't use burnt sienna. You could use burnt sienna in here too. Oh, I didn't mix up my white. Oh, God, I didn't mix up my white. Let me see. Burnt sienna, burnt umber, and white. Why I'm going to use burnt umber and white? A little warm. I'm going to start off with burnt umber and white, though, because of the same thing I said before. Is I would like this painting to dry this winter, and being white and being burnt umber. I mean, being white, it just won't dry. I'm gonna try burnt umber, and then I'm gonna buy some burnt sienna mix into this one. So I got a little bit of redness to it. There we go. Cloudy day means shadows are going to be cooler or darker, warmer. I mean, I finally got it. Warmer in here. So I'm graying this out, warming it up, and it is not going where I wanted it to. It'll be okay in the stacks. I think the other one's okay. One more white then, because I'm not sure if that's going to work. Yes. Need more white. I'm gonna go with a red white. It's more pinkish anyway. It's a warm pink anyway. I was hoping the burnt umbers, burnt sienna were going to do it. Didn't do it. Yeah, somebody's trying to talk, or is that, do they have the hiccups? Definitely this color. So, oxide red light. with white. Get this coolness in here. Whoop. Now that's going to take care of. That's going to fit in here really nice. Okay, so I got a few whites here to play when we get there. Nice big piles of it. Okay, so the colors again, we start off with phthalo greens and alizarans, mixed them down to about with 6 with white, and then we brought them down to about 4s. Same we did with phthalo green and oxide red light. Same thing, same thing. Then we did blue and oxide red light. And this on the blue side, red side, and white side. And then we did blue and burnt umber together. And we'll get some nice, unique colors that way. And really kind of grayed out. And we'll see. And then we took all the color. We took everything from here down. We took them and brought them down here. We put oxide red, light, and green here, and put in cat orange to it. And here we use blue and oxide red light and put orange into it. Here we use blue and umber together and put orange into it. That side, this side we ran out of orange, so we put red in it, cat red, which might be a really good, decision. There are going to be some nice things there. Snow, we got a few different colored snows. We need warmer ones, cooler ones, grayer ones. A lot of these colors here up here are going to work in there. But we also, I seen some redness in there I didn't have right here. And so I wanted to get that in. So this is just burnt umber and white. This is burnt sienna and white. This is just white and oxide red light. Simple little colors. And then, like I said, I was going to tone my canvas with burnt umber. There's a nice thin coating of it. It will gray out all the colors too a little bit, so it's going to be pretty thin. But I want to put it in. So, okay, any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. The one on the bottom row on the far left, is that burnt sienna with white?
This is burnt umber and white. This is burnt sienna and white.
Burnt umber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burnt sienna, and that's oxide red light.
Got it.
White.
Thanks.
Yeah, hopefully they'll work out and do some of the snow, but they will be in there near the very end anyway. So time we get to them. All right, I'm going to bring you guys in close as I can for this one too, because it's going to be kind of fun. At least for me. I think I can get you guys in there nice and tight. I'm going to turn it that way a little bit. Get this in here. Okay, get this up. All right, and this going. All right. Like I said, burn umber first, draw it in, or you can just be a purist and just do a pure knife. I'll let you do either way. I'm not going to worry about it. But if you definitely want to bring this up, see if you can bring this up to right about the 2/3 mark, at least the background. That'll help with any design issues you guys, worry about. And again, try to take full advantage of this underpainting. That's beautiful stuff for,
Jim, why
to
does
show
yours look
through.
so much lighter than mine?
My what? Burnt sienna?
Your burnt umber.
My burnt umber? I'm oiling it down. I have a lot of oil in my brush. If I'm not pulling on full strength, it's really watered down. It's like a watercolor. See, that's the darkness it is, and then I'm going to wipe it off too. But I am also spreading it out too as I go. So there's the painting. I could leave it right there, and that's perfect. Here you go. You got everything in there. You got the 2/3 mark. You got the trees in here. Beautifully done. Anyway. But isn't that kind of stuff down here? If you can leave it, leave it. I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to take it off the top because I think that's where I'm going to. Right here, let's just give me a nice gray tone. This value I probably come out with will be perfect for this painting. And so burnt umber has always been a classic paint. I love it, but it's one of those paints that just kind of dries kind of funky. And if you need to have extra days painting, you usually can't get them because anything you put burnt umber in is going to dry pretty much very fast, within a week or so. I mean, not a week, next day. Week or so would be fine. I could do the deal with that. Yeah. So just going to mark off my things. The trees go in here. This is the green area right here. And then just a little bit of nice little turn. I'm going to give it just tilt it down enough that it will start to catch these areas, these marks here. I'm going to leave. So we got a little bit of turning going right away. Yeah. So I'm going to mark where this guy goes. Little teepees, right? Almost little teepees. So not too much. Gonna make sure it's like he's slightly a little bit more room on that side than this side. That's all we need. It can be even closer than this, and it might. So I'm just gonna keep it right here. And this one goes up pretty much almost all of that line up there. So he's a tall one, right? Okay. Just like that. I'm gonna cheat. I know you guys can't do this, but I can. What do you say? That's a good idea. I'm just going to put a little bit of burnt umber in the middle of this guy and cheat. But that's all I'm doing. I'm not really painting. It's not real paint. Staggering these guys, as you can see how they're staggered. I think that might be one of the things that drew me into this painting too, is this beautiful staggering. It's very rhythmic. So like Fibonacci numbers. You got a little bit of, that going on in this. So one here, just triangles. Okay. So somebody's. Okay, I had to mute you all, but so if you want to, you have to unmute yourself. So I said this one here, the main is going to be my main stack. And this guy over here will come into play. And this guy over here, I like him because he's really makes all the other ones so different, because he's almost straight up on that one side and then comes back. So he's got a good, fun lean to him. And they all, kind of go up to about the same spot. You know. And these guys, nice little here and there and here. Okay, these guys here, if I just put them in with just paint, like this, I'll be fine. But you can see the painting's pretty much there without doing anything. Okay. I'm not cheating yet. I'm just cleaning my brush. That's all I'm doing right here. This is just cleaning the brush. This has nothing to do with coloring or anything. I just want to make sure I save my paint here as much as possible because, being thrifty, we want to, also want to make it a little bit easier. I'm just going to get rid of it down in here too a little bit. Okay. Get that. Think about this. That corner here. So, how these guys kind of line up, and then they catch this arc back there. So that'd be nice. And then we do have angle here that these guys are all going to be on. Kind of going to go back into perspective, as we go through here. So if you want to make a few marks that way. And then get your arc, your thinking. Well, that arc's going to work here. And we should be good. The birds will come in at the end. I'm going to soften my lines so I can get going. All right. I'm going to start with that darkest. One of the things about painting with knives, yeah, you want to start with your darkest darks, but one of the things also you want to start with the farthest stuff back in space and bring things come forward. So I'm going to start pretty much back in here. Still, yeah, I'll still get a few things in here in time and things. I'm not going to do any of the little stuff, just the big areas. So we're going to go, and then most of them are gray in there anyway. So here we go. I'm going to start off with the colors we mixed up. Let's try this. This is pretty dark. This is a phthalo green and alizarin. I'm going to put it in pretty light though.
Warm side?
Green side, yeah. Green side. I'm going to keep it thin like this. Okay. And then let the next color fight into this. I think the green there, it's going to be a little bit more red on this other stand of trees right here. And you see, I put on just a little bit of oil paint, and then I'm just spreading it with the scraping. It's not going to be that way. This is more of a scrape where I can get this kind of texture. Remember those textures you get because they come in handy in other paintings. So I'm going to pull these two together a little bit. I'm going to put that red too, just on top. I'm going to leave this coolness in the middle and then go with a little bit of red on top just for the trees coming through here and underneath. At least in that spot. A little bit more right over here. Right at the line, usually at the base of the trees, it's always going to catch a little more dark right here. So base of the trees line here. Just going to put a dark, this is again phthalo green and purple alizarin in it. And that's right at the 2/3 mark, pretty much. A little drips down a little bit, but not much. Right there. That's it. And just put it in and just swoosh it around. Scrape it around with the knife. Just take this part here, yeah. Don't, it's one of those areas that if you spend the right amount of time on it and get it right, the second, when you come over with your second color, everything should go a lot easier. So, okay. That's good. I'm done. I'm gonna go keep moving. That's the thing. I think the half of this thing is just to keep moving. Going on to phthalo green and oxide red. This is the green side. I'm gonna push that in very, as you can see, very lightly into this bottom section right here. This is where that green, like that little green stripe is going across. And you can see I am keeping it pretty light. I'm not overdoing it. Start to think about scratches and roads coming through. Burnt umber was a genius move, I must say. As I'm going here, going, wow, that's, it was kind of nice to lay that in there like that because it kind of went right in right, which is always nice. Okay, the next color, I'm just sliding right through. These are my darks. Dark are so thin, they don't take much time, but it's gonna help feel like we really made this a complicated painting by adding these colors in there. Definitely, I would look as I'm going here. I can see how it builds up here and stuff. Thinking about little spots in these, in the stalks and stuff where that can go. Definitely, it can get in here.
And that is the green and
An oxide red light.
thank you.
Yeah, you might go both sides and think about that in these guys. A little greener maybe on the back edge of these in these big stalks, and then a little redder as you come forward in these first three here. We'll push the red into these guys probably just a hair more. That will help also bring us forward. And the green outside should fall back into space a little bit. Just don't let it build up too much, but that's okay. You got to have fun. You got to have some fun things in there. Hopefully, you make enough fun marks in here that you can, see how it can really benefit a painting. You can start. I love to start drawing with it. It gets to a point where it becomes a pencil almost, and you're just scratching and you're pushing paint around and writing things. And I don't write things, but you can if you wanted to. For do some subliminal messages, maybe, just buy me. I could do that in there. So I'm making the back ones green, a little more green at the base, especially at the base, and then going on up a little bit. So that's why I went back to the green here. Yeah, this thing does flex pretty good, so it does have a lot of nice turning in it. almost too dark for this, but there is a few dark spots. And this is phthalo green and oxide red yet. I'm just looking at the very bottom of the grass. Put her in pretty light, but then it's going to have another couple colors come over it. I just want a couple looking for little spots that are going to pop out. That's what I'm looking for, and getting it in that area so I can, when the next time I come around with the next color, I can, put some more color in there. I need a little bit more of this on the red side. I got pretty much everything on this one. I think this one's good. Like I said, different directions too. It's not all just, I'm not trying to get it there yet. I want to have, it'll look like a lot more stuff if I'm a little more chaotic too. Get a lot of different more crossovers going in different directions. Get a little bit, looks like you worked really hard on those spots. There is going to be enough areas in the painting that we will be working, a little bit harder on. So getting a few that are, a little simpler would be fine. And we can, this color we can always come back to. This is the red side. Now it's the green side. A few spots, like I said. And I like to sometimes when I get down in here, almost lay my knife flat. I mean, I'll put the color in like that, and I'll just lay my knife on it and push it around and get that same kind of fuzziness that's going on in the painting. Like in some of these grasses rolling over. And just one of the things too is I'm following the stroke or seeing the stroke and following it, not going too many times against the grain. You got to go against the grain every once in a while in painting to make things stand out. But just seeing the stroke and following it will get you there pretty quickly. If this noise or scratching and stuff just doesn't drive you nuts, it's not as bad as chalk on chalkboard, but it can get there. So I'm just laying my knife flat, just smushing out the color one more time. Some of these guys have done pretty well. I mean, I really spread the color out to where the distance I wanted. Now I'll come back. That's the darkest it's gonna get. Everything now is pretty much gonna start going a lot lighter. But still, I got still got a few colors here. No, I don't have those. Those are can't use those yet. Those are white in them. So really, what I have left is my bird colors, my burnt umber and my blues. I'm not going to do the birds at this point. So I'm just going to come down and start on my midtones. Number 6 is basically almost everywhere I put stuff in. I'm going to go back in and put the light version of each one of these guys in. So let's start back here in the blues again. Same thing. I'm going to start off the blues back in there. Might be let me put this in, see what happens. I'm thinking this is blue and oxide red too. Getting that in here. Yeah, I'm going to go blue and oxide red on the side here a little bit.
What value are you going for, James?
This is right around a 6.
6? Okay.
6. It kind of darkens up to about a 7. So
Thanks.
no worries, no worries. So right in here, I'm going to go with the blue in the middle here. I'm moving it over to the phthalo green side because there's just a little area right here. There's less trees and the color changes. So, and there you go. It's not going to be, and I'm just running that color all the way out. Same over here. I'm going to bring that same color in from the side though into the red, into the trees here. This is phthalo green. And I want it to mix a little bit with what I had there. And bring in the purple side. I think I'm going to add just a touch more red to my color because it didn't. I need right there. I wanted to be able to see a little more red in the color right in here. All right. And when I go over the dark area of the thing, just lighten up my stroke a little bit. Bring that red back in over in here too, into this area, so you can start seeing some red. Look over here, just like I said, you can start seeing the tops of the trees here. I'm going to put, rub it in there a little bit.
So which pile are you pulling from?
I'm pulling in from the phthalo green and alizarin's pile. And this is the red side of it. The green side I just used right in here and right there. I used a little bit more blue. I used blue and oxide red with white over here on this side because I wanted to get a little more blue gray coming through and then have it warm up in places. Thinking the same thing here. I'm adding a little more red to my color. I want a little more red to show through up here. This is where the tree tops are. I'm just marking them in. I'll probably have to come back in and do them again. But you never know. That's, I'll have to do them again when I change if I change the sky. I might not change the sky. I kind of like this burnt umber. So I might not change it. So, but I might have to come back in and do something. So these guys are okay. Just over here on this side. Just a little bit. All right. I'm going to drag it down a little bit. Drag the pile lines down and start to be tree line. This is one of the great areas for using a knife is when you're doing trees, when you're doing especially when you need to pull them down. You can pull them down just like a really nicely, just give them an angle easily. So, and it only comes with, working your knife, getting used to using it, and how you like count can really help you out. Missing the arc right here on top of this one. All right, I'm just looking for that color coming in. I can see it a few more spots. I got a lot of warmth in here already. Now I'm just going to bring in some coolness. And it's great for losing edges too. When you got stuff like that, just to rub your knife on it, you can lose an edge. It's different than just using your finger.
What are you doing now, Jim?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Now I'm still using the green, the alizarin and phthalo green with white in it now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm into that. That's what I did up here. I was using it back in here. I did the far back tree line in between there, that area right there. Put that in, and that was in with phthalo greens and some blue and oxide red mixes, the same value back in here. A blue on this side, green on that side. Then I came in with a little more of the green coming into here. Then I went on the red side, the purple side, and that pretty much is the trees. So with the trees coming above it and going through here, and then attaching to the things here. And now I'm just looking at, bringing that color in to the rest of the painting. Where it can always be in shadows, but there might not be that many shadows in this painting. But to get them in, you can get it in here and it'll probably gray out nicely. Even though you don't see it, you can still put it in there and work it in. It's going to be underneath, and hopefully, one spot, someplace it'll peek out. That's what I'm looking for. Even when I'm putting it in here, you can see how well it goes with the brown. And maybe I can use it to really push the turn design in the paint, in it. How it's going to turn. Push that color in here to make it turn at a certain spot, so it does do what it's supposed to do. There's one little spot down here too, pointing in too. Let's see it. Let me start to do it here. So kind of making that happen here. Okay. So this is, just so far I haven't done too much. Just looking for a little places up close here that I can get some darkness and richness that is going to go with some of those light. Basically what's in there right now underneath here is showing through is pretty much the color I'm going to be going and adding in here. And so now I can really have a better judge about what I'm doing right now, how it's going to fit. So, okay, I'm just pushing this in a little bit more. Make sure. Oh, there we go. We got a little bit of a turn. Cross that, that'll be crossed out easy. We're going to look at some purples, especially when you get back in here. Some of these got a lot of warmth in them in these spots. Getting a little bit of coolness now going into them, mixing in. This is one of those things too, usually with the brush, I'm trying to not do, go over an area. I always like to have the two blend and meet a little bit and not have one take over. But with palette knife, it's kind of like it does. It's kind of like an all in thing, pretty much. You don't get any nice. I mean, you have to work it really hard to get all the nice blends and stuff to happen. But they usually don't. Very opaque painting. Just a little green, blue green and stuff. Okay. Okay, onto my green. This is green. This is a pale green and oxide red with white in it. Meet pit tones again. This is where I was seeing it going is in this area here. The lower area here. So I'll build up that area a little bit before I go over and see where else I can get it to go in. Got a little heavy there. Like, sure I get the corners and the bottom of the painting. I was thinking this green was going to be pretty much this green, but it's going to be a lot lighter value than what right now. I'm not putting it all the way in here. I'm just putting it in the very back edge, pretty much where that tree line is, coming out of that tree line a little bit. So again, just come in. Now you get, now it's kind of nice because you're getting that secondary color here of purple and blue, you know, green, I mean, mixing together. You get that back there. It should tone that back down a little bit more. Right in here. And I got the red side of it now. And what I'm doing is there's a few spots in between the trees here that did not, you know, just was too light coming through here and need to be warmed up. So I'm putting some of that, the red side, the oxide red and phthalo green on the red side coming through here. And right in between areas here. It's a little bit right in between those two. Especially when you're doing trees, you don't want too even. You need some kind of bigger clumps, thin clumps, you know, making sure that they all just are different, a little different, so they're not too much. And then you can start to see, even at this point, you can start to see where things are too dark and just jumping out at you. That's with the knife that's a good place to come in and tone it down little by little without losing everything of it. So that's we're starting on the red side of that, phthalo green and red. Definitely you're going to see a ton of it in these guys. It's a beautiful warm gray. You know, we already have the dark version of it. And that dark version should probably be able to find mostly at the top of the stalk and at the bottom. Gotta mute you guys again. A little bit. Okay. So everything kind of comes up and into here. Use a little bit more warmth and darkness on the top here. There. Okay. So you're going to start to find, though, that this color is pretty much going to be it for these few back ones back in here, especially when you get all the way back in here. Far back ones, there's pretty much it. They don't. They need to be shaped a little bit. But that's what that's the hardest thing to do is shaping with a knife, doing your final things. And so you try not to have to don't do it too early and do it. You want to wait till the end and get it all in. As one color lays over the next one, then getting it to do its job. Went a little dark on a few of these, which is okay. Kind of like doing pastels again. That's what the thing I kind of get to when I paint with these guys. It's really kind of almost that exact same thing, except for I'm not using a knife and or edge of a piece of chalk. And we mix up all the colors, so pretty much it's really close to what we do if we do pastels. So, okay, this one's going to be getting. See, this one, like I said, when you keep going, these things are just going to get thicker and thicker. They just keep thickening on as you go. So another thing, keep them thin, work it. Okay, basically I'm down here now. This ground level with this color, working it in. It almost feels purple against that brown. Looks brown on my palette. Kind of taupey brown. So definitely start to get it into these little laid down grass areas here at the bottom. Now I'm going to go to the next one is the lizard oxide red and blue. And you get that same thing, but you can see this is such a cooler color than that. Then the warm one, just that little bit of green made such a difference. So this area down in here is starting to get full. And really it's going to end up needing is a lot of simplifying with snow. when that comes in here at the bottom, there'll be a lot of snow coming in here and hopefully pushing it back. So I'm just looking for these purple areas. I think I'm going to find a little cooler at this bottom part of this stalk here. There's going to be a lot of some snow going over here, but I can see there's just a little bit of coolness that's going to show through right in here. So that's about it. I'm not going all the way to the top. I might go up here to the top edge where it starts to kind of fuzz out here a little bit. So that one gets a little bit of love there. These guys get a little less. Thing is, always just like in regular painting, you just don't want to lose your darks. So take it easy. Work around them if you can a little bit better. This one turned out grayed out nicely. So the color might go back a little ways. And these guys a little bit. Don't forget to warm that side up. Attaching to the ground a little bit. Nice color for attaching them. So I'm going to go red to about here, about halfway back, and then let me see what I got on the blue side, what the blue side does. I think the blue side will take it the rest of the way. It's the blue side of it. Didn't gray them out. More green, I think. All right, let's try this. Okay, I thought it was going to be oxide red and thing, but it's just too cool. The blue's just coming through so strong. It kind of needs to be a little gray, more gray. This is just burnt umber and phthalo green. I mean, burnt umber and blue. Sorry, burnt umber and blue, and it just feels a little greenish to it. So it's not as cool as the blue. The blue was taking me back too far, space wise. Take me back past that stuff. So it's like. Okay. I'm going to go back here to the blue, oxide red and blue and white. I'm going to start putting in a little bit of stuff in this area here, just to because when I cover this with white, I want to have some of this stuff show through. So. Just so I think it was speed a few things along too. It's getting there though, pretty quick. And use both these colors together too a little bit. See, I might end up having to come back and do this, what I'm doing right now, all over again on top of the white, like some of these colors, but we'll see. Kind of hedging a bet here as I go. Okay. All right, good enough. Going back to this burn umber in blue with white. It's on the burn umber side. It's kind of a warm gray. Thinking that I can get that, start to get that into this area here too. It's a little heavy. I can start to get it down below here, I think, and start filling in some of this area here. So this is very scratchy, of course, you know, and then we'll just end up building it. It's just going to keep getting, there's nothing you can do about the scratchiness till you get enough paint on the painting that won't just starts to move and glides. But we want to put it on so that when we get it in here, it's just going to, you know, work really easy. So, all right. But back in here, that's not too bad. Not too bad. This is the blue side of that, so it's a little, it has a little more color in it. I'm not sure where it's going to go. You know, it's always nice to try it in areas. Sometimes this is, you know, a lot of times when I'm down near the end, I'll be doing this with paintings, scratching it in here, because sometimes you're just going to get colors that are just going to be, just go ping to you, you know, you're just going to put it in there and it's going to change the painting. And it's just a little scratch. So that's kind of fun. It is like doing a pastel. And, you know, sometimes you just never put it together. Because I mean, you can just keep getting so much color in these things. And just by, there's always room. You can always scratch a color in and put it in. It will just go in there so natural. I'm just going to gray out this one corner here and kind of almost blur it out a little bit. I'll just keep, you know, it'll take you back in here, but just got to blur it out. So just grab the tree line here. Tree line would take you back around and should bring you back over here a little bit. All right. Without the crows, it's already even pretty good. All right, about halfway down. Pretty much there with a lot of the colors. This is that green. I was thinking about, could that go back in here? I think it's almost, might be too warm. This is burnt umber and blue with white in it. It is just, you know, just that burnt umber in it enough warms it up, but I was afraid it was going to be too too green in this area. But we're starting with, I'm going to start with it in here now, and then I'm going to come back with a cooler, with other colors. Otherwise, I'm going to look a few spots here. Could see a little green in these things here and there. Maybe lighter. Maybe more. Yeah, okay. That is it. Burnt umber and blue on the burnt umber side. Just with white. I was kind of thinking it was going to get too sweet. Using the phthalo green and oxide red. I was thinking about using that for what I'm doing here. But this is kind of more of a neutral, even more neutral, and has a nice little kick to it in some like down here in the bottom. These guys. It's really a nice transition to snow. Some of the snow areas. So just trying to get it in without again over here. I'll probably do the same thing I did over the other side, just blur it out a little bit, so kind of focus. Yes, keep focusing it in a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna look for it in this front one a little bit more now too. I didn't, get a bunch of it coming around here, twisting. Look, we're gonna be onto the snow in a second here, and so just to kind of have a kind of feel for what's going to work really nice. Always I'm trying to figure out. Okay. Wide, get it a little wider. Okay. Look for. Okay. We are getting there. Now we're going to be on the lighter colors. I'm going to start again back in here. I'm not going to paint the roof this color back up the sky. We're not going to paint that. I'm going to leave it that color, I think, for a while. I'm going to live with it. So I'm going with this cooler gray. So I'm going to pass by all those colors I mixed up so far. The phthalo green and alizarin, and go to the oxide red and phthalo green, the warmer colors. This is on the green side. This is what I was hoping would going to happen. I was going to be able to get paint down in here enough that when I come back in with this color, it feels a little cool though. Here's the red side. It feels a little bit better. It might be a mix of the two. Just a little bit too green, a little bit too red. Yeah. Just a nice, kind of a nice gray green. Just gonna stroke it in here. I don't see the brown red side back in here. I don't think it's going to be light enough. Doesn't have any color. Okay, let's do purple in front then. Okay, now I'm going to start ending up shaping this. Now, the color I'm using here is oxide red and blue with white in it, probably around a like a 4, 3, 4 value. Gonna bring that in here, and that's gonna do this little triangle that's shooting in here from the side here, and I'm gonna use it to basically shape the triangle parts of the back ones here a little bit. As I go. If I could. Okay, and as I go down, it just gets lost right back in here behind here. Okay, where else can I use it? That's the thing. Now that it's light. This is what I was thinking was going to be down in here. And you can see right now, starting to grab a little bit, starting to pile up paint when it's laying over other paint. It'll just, you get these little piles. And then so what I'm looking for is to do piles and then pull them together with the tip of my knife. Could go just a little warmer. I wonder if it's this going over to this side a little bit. Yeah, a little warmer here and there. So that's in there, but it's not quite. Let me see. So little flicks now, dragging it down and twisting it out. And leave those. I'm going to see about this is a little more warmth in. Okay, I'm going to start digging into this front one with some of my warmer colors down here. I might have to whiten them out a little bit. I've got a little bit of, don't think I need them quite that rich anymore. So I'm going to start off the big long ones in this thing that are sticking out. And this is a color I'm using is burn umber, ox and blue, and white with orange in it. And now I just added just a little bit more white into it. And I'm just going to use the tip of my knife. I really just only have the paint on the tip of it. I'm going to use it as a drawing a knife and just kind of, or a pencil type thing. And, you know, just draw the line in and then switch it a little bit. So they're different as I go. I'm just going to grab the ones that are going to stand out. Really, I need to stand out. You need, like, in certain areas, you can have make sure these things stand out a little bit. So when I need to have the paint come to a point, the strike, I know I got a flat edge and I got the point edge. So I start off with a flat edge and then go to a point, twist it to a point. You can get these guys to go through here pretty easy. Those are my big ones back there, up there on this thing. Now coming down here, these guys, there's just a few spots. I want to get a few areas that kind of tie together. Then we just got to go back and forth a little bit and make sure you got the right darkness in a few areas. I'll use that. I'm going to use that a little bit of down here coming in. And then I'm going to get into the white real quick. Show you how it gets going. Okay. See if this works. Now, I want to work this one. Definitely will follow the kind of like a little weave it gets going up around it. And making sure I put my strokes again just far enough away from each other so they don't blend too much. You got some of the background showing through. So just build it up. Probably could have just done one of these for the class. It would have probably been fine too. So if you're watching and you haven't gotten this far, you can cheat and just do one little section of a haystack and get probably everything you need out of it too. But it's too late for you guys. I have to go back in with some darks. Okay. I am taking some of the burn umbers, white, gray, just warming it up a little bit more with some of these oranges down below. Because it's just trying to kind of nice to, I don't have a lot of warm whites. So it's getting too much. We're overdoing that. Let me try. Get back in here and do a few. He's only going to get a few little strokes. I'm going to switch down here. I'm at phthalo green and oxide red. This is oxide red side of it. I'm using for the snow value. I think we're at, again, 4-ish. I'm just going to do these sides of these guys here a little bit. Coming up a little bit. These guys all get gray down too a little bit from the snow side. And then we'll go down to the snow. And hopefully the snow will, we'll be able to really define some things here. Okay. And we have, only got half an hour. I should be able to lay in some snow. Okay, I'm going to start with, I'm just going to start with some of the snow down here we made up, the lighter stuff. This is burnt umber and white. Oh, this is burnt sienna and white. Sorry, burnt sienna and white. I'm going to start that down below here. In this area here, it's starting to, here it gets kind of smushed in here a little bit. And it'd be a nice warm tone to it. Should help bring things around a little bit. And so I'm just gonna work right in here and work across the painting and smear it in. Basically almost putting it in and flattening out my knife and buttering it in here a little bit. Just catching these other areas. And then when I get too, don't let it get too dark. But we still got a couple more colors here to put in. But this is pretty good. When I mixed this color, I was definitely looking at it going, it's too warm, it's too warm. And as I was been painting here on the painting, finding that it's not too warm. I'm not too warm. I'm in the cool side of everything for some reason. It could have been the photo here, just a little bit cooler. Yeah, that's what it is. That's just a little cooler than what's on my screen. And of course, what's on my screen's a little warmer. I'll try to get this done quickly. And bring back in. I'm trying to leave rows, starting to make the rows. I did pretty well, at least by marking it with the knife or the brush at the beginning. So I kind of feel like be going in the right direction here. And I'm only going to go up to about halfway, right about here with this color. Laying it in just like this. So it got a little pink to it. Now I'll come back only a little bit more over here. And if I follow the kind of arcing direction, it should be all right. And I'm going to come back in after I have that in, we'll come back in with the red version, the oxide red light and white version. Come back into it down below here a little bit. I'll get a few spots to pop. You know, there's this one right here by the side. Like I said, I might have to add more white to the color, but I'm trying not to. I'll be also going to be using, I got the burnt umbers going on in here. I want to see what that does. So you can start to see it starting to feel different. Here's the burnt umber. You see it's pretty bright. I was thinking about using that back in here. It's bright, but it's kind of grayed out. And so usually when it doesn't have any color like that, it will fall back in space too. Anything with, especially with red in it. And so just softly do it. Don't overblend. Let some of the stuff just, you know, mix. So that's what I'm just using this little back and forth little scratch doing it. Even back in here, it looks like it'd go a little darker, so I might use the burn umber, add in some little darkness to it so it's not so too light. That's good, but it could go a little pinkier. I'm moving both these guys together. Yeah. And leave the mess between here. Don't need all those back there. What? Get too many back there. So the mix now I'm using for basically this now is burnt umber and white with some of the oxide red into it. And I toned it back down to it's not quite as bright as it was too. So I kind of, it's nice to be able to just do a quick shape and let it back here be soft. I'll be able to use this for like a lot of the snow little scratches on the sides here too. Of these guys, I might have to come back and burn in a little bit more browns and reds in here. So that's what I'm thinking. Let me get this going back here a little bit. Come on, oh, I left it right there, didn't I? This is what I want to do too on the sides of, especially these guys here. It's just be able to dig into them and and pull it out and get a nice, you know, soft edge to them. Like I said, this one probably going to be we've got to thicken it up. I did go on the light side of it, but we got big things to fry yet. We still got birds to put in here. A couple birds and things. So let me get this section over here. And again, you don't want this to be too perfect. You know, we can go back in and clean up little areas I want to do that lead you in. I need to get this swoop in nice. Get this in to come in a little bit. And work this down a little bit more. Just a little bit of playing back and forth. Making sure I break this line too. I got a kind of a goofy line going here, so looking for places to put in some paint. Mix that lime a little bit and soften these guys down. So a little bit of work to do. Okay. But I was making the decision that I wasn't going to put in the sky. So I'm going to have to put in the birds without the sky. So before I do that, I want to make sure everything underneath here I agree with or happy with. Not too worried. Everything's, it's just going to be a little blend of things here. Putting the road in, that's no big deal. That might be a little lighter than that. Just little kind of looks like roads back here. Probably to get in here, I'm sure it is. Like I said, this guy I'm just going to blow out a little bit on the sides a little bit. Hope for simple little things. A lot of look for, hopefully, feel like air going through these things. See up here, these guys get a little bit more stuff going on. A lot of work, a little bit to do here. Okay. Let's pull these guys together there. Okay. Like I said, I'm just gonna bring in some more white into a few spots here and just trample down a little bit of stuff here. Just put it in for the flat of my knife, then soften a few edges or keep them harsh. How's that looking? That's kind of fun. Get there. Like I said up here, I'd probably just soften my finger. just by touching it. You're just gonna just darken it and soften it at the same time. So I need to blend the bigger shapes out a little bit before I put in them. I'm only gonna put in a couple birds for you. And let you guys figure it out. I'm gonna draw my finger, clean fingers, right? Clean, always clean. Just take away paint. Smudge it back in. It's like a little charcoalish thing, you know. Good way to, you know, get rid of all that stuff. Tone down areas. Scrape areas. We definitely want to, you know, use some of this for advantage. Okay. You know, and then the last little things of always, you know, putting in these guys, like I said, you know, follow the lines. See how far your paint can take. I mean, I'm using what is that? That's blue, red. So it's blue and oxide red and orange. With that little bit of white in it. Catching a lot of these guys here. I'm gonna do maybe like go about a third of the painting with this color, you know, over, and then go to a grayed out color as I go farther back. You know, I'm going to do a couple little birds if I can. They're just going to be shapes, and then try to find color on the body, head, or wing someplace. You know, they are black. There's not a whole lot of color to them, but if we can do it. And also on these guys, look at, you can also use dashes. You don't have to do straight ups and downs here. You can do, you know, stretch, you know, with the side of your knife too, bringing them down. It should work out really well since now we got the paint in there. So just gonna just do a few of these to sort of get the idea of how to go around and do the ring here, how it turns. I always kind of like to leave let the paint come off the way it wants to come off. Don't try to, you know, don't try to guide it too much like this. Just following that line, the curve into it. And hopefully, you know, it shows up and everybody thinks so. Back in here, you don't see it as much. I mean, really, you only have to go about halfway of the painting to really do get this to work. And it starts to get fun. Now it's starting to get fun. All right, I'll put a bird or two in. get that spot in. All right. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna need some burnt sienna and blue, which I don't have. Definitely want to mix it up value-wise. I don't want it as strong as even as it is there. Probably keep these guys in the probably 7 range values. Start off there. So this guy's just a flat back and pull down for a wing and another wing. Oh boy. Okay, I might have to go dark just to get it over here. And then the body. Okay. So it looks like they have kind of a flat back when they're flying. Here's the blue mix of it. We'll see. I'm going to have to come back and through it. I'm going to put, a body here. So just a dash for a body. And then just connect wings. Head just a little dash above the thing. It won't make much difference. I'm just going to keep pulling it out. They said we'll probably have to come back in and do a little bit of stuff, but you don't have to do too much on these guys. Oh, what did I do there? Oh, that's another bird. That's what that is. That's the back end of this bird here. Okay. See, that's that bird. Then the big bird at the top, all by himself, just a little bit back here, right here. Just scratch them in. They're almost like silhouettes anyway. So
What color are you using for that, James?
magic color. Magic, very expensive magic color. It's burnt umber and blue.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be coming back in and probably putting in a touch of more red into areas of them, but it's going to be pretty subtle. This I had to put it in with full strength to get it over the colors. So that's what I'll be doing.
Okay.
So what time we got? What time? I think we're close enough. I'll bring you in closer for it. I'm going to do this and I'm going to come back and then I'll probably take a brush to the whole thing and repaint it. Teach you all a lesson. Okay, so undo your mic. So, unmute yourselves. But here's this one. This guy here. Is he's starting to come along. You're starting to see the snow starting to show up. Don't lose the darks. Try to keep those as much as possible. As you can tell when you put them in right, like right in here, when you don't have to go back in and put them in. How more natural and clean they look. But you only have to hit a couple of these guys very well. The rest of them are just basically like an army of triangles going back there. And the same with the trees up there, just really softening them up. and getting this art to work so it starts to feel like it moves around. So lots of little things yet. I'm just gonna, I'll find as I get going, a little bit more in-depth things, but not too much more. I don't want to do too much. I kind of like the brown on top. If I feel like I'll take it into Photoshop and change it around, just take a quick look at it. But I don't. All right, everybody has their stuff on. Let's go. Let's show and tell time. Marcia's on top. Let's see what Marcia has. She's before she falls asleep.
She had a waste of paint. Waste of paint.
A waste of paint again?
Yeah.
Good.
I did. It's ridiculous. I still hate this stuff. Oops. Well, now it's even better. It almost fell in my hand. Let's see.
Hi. Hey, there we go. That's the shot we all wanted right there.
Can't even find the damn camera.
Oh.
It just has a colossal waste of paint.
You're right. You're right. So, are you using the knife mostly, or you just?
I tried. Yes, mostly that's the knife. That's why nothing's under control.
Okay, good.
No.
That's the way this thing is. It's nothing has to be under control. It's a lot of giveaway. Oh, I love the color back there you're putting in, the green, the yellow, blue green back in the sky. That's nice and rich.
Jim,
what?
This was terrible. And then with the knife. Well, you know how I the knife.
Yeah.
I have more on my hands than I do on the not my thing. But I'm working on this one.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Working on that one.
Okay. Well, good. You're trying to keep you out of trouble. You got to keep you working.
Oh my God. All right. I'm quitting.
All right. Well,
Love you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Well, since we're in Kentucky, let's go see Sharon. We're going to go see Sharon's up. There you go. Oh, look at her.
Sharon.
Nice.
Sharon, that's beautiful.
Yeah, great. Really good start. I love those.
Considering this is what, my fourth snow scene? Life.
And they're all this well from me.
So I'll post it tomorrow.
Okay, what do you think of the knife? You've been using a lot of it or not?
Well, I'm just really loving layering on the paint. It's like butter.
Yeah.
And it just picks up the snow so nicely. So
it will do a great job on the snow.
Okay, thank you.
That's a great piece. That's a great little start.
Thank you.
Good job. Let's go to we're gonna head out to the other Marcia. Let's go see Marcia over here. See how she did.
Well, I am very frustrated
Yeah.
and disappointed in myself.
Again, you always say that.
And I understand very clearly why I hate phthalo green.
Did you get on your hands?
Well, no, it's just everything turns green. I don't know if you can see this, but
I'm starting to.
It's just really bad.
I'm not too sure what you're talking about. I think everything
turns green.
Yeah. At one point, that's why you got to put reds next to it, and sometimes purples in there, and it'll change the color around. It's just a little thing. Just keep going. You got to finish that one first before you hate phthalo green. You got to paint. I think
I have hated phthalo green for years. So.
I think you're in the wrong class.
You think?
You don't like phthalo green.
Well, I realized that when I signed up. But anyway, I have never done a painting with a palette knife in my entire life, which we know is really, really long.
Well, now we hit your to-do list.
Yeah, so I really found it kind of frustrating, but but I tried. I did it.
Okay.
So
You're not
there it
done yet.
is.
Keep
You
going, Marcia. I think it looks great.
I think you got plenty of pain left in you to take. So I think you keep going. It's gonna get better.
Yeah, well,
That's the thing is if you don't keep going, it doesn't get any better. But if you keep
well,
going on a
that's true.
palette
That's
knife,
true.
it will change. It will get better. Right now it's on that turning point and you gotta believe in it.
Yeah, well, I'm the colors got away from me. It's all either green or pink. I just don't know. I'm just gonna need to sit down with a piece of canvas and just play with paint and see what it will do.
Okay. Just
Because
keep going.
I'm just, I'm kind of stuck with how I'm used to painting, and these are different colors and different ways of mixing color, and
It
it just all comes out looking the same.
yeah.
And
It's an acquired taste. It'll take time to really feel to get it all together. This is only your third painting with us. Keep going.
okay,
All
okay,
right.
yeah.
Kathleen, what do you
Oh,
got?
well,
Let's see. Oh, that's not it. Where are you?
yeah. I'll try
Kathleen,
not
look
to
at
cut
that.
us off, but
Yeah.
I know that it's got a glare on it, but I don't know. It needs a little more work.
Too much phthalo green, I hear.
Yeah, it's got a lot of green, but I thought I'd bury it a little.
No, you keep burying it. I mean, not that way. You just keep going. The shapes are good. The design's pretty nice. Um,
The
you know,
color needs a little help.
yeah. That's the thing about playing with those colors. It takes a while to really understand them and know how much you got of one color you can put in there.
Yeah.
Phthalo will take over as much as it can, and so if you don't have good, strong other colors that can fight it off a little bit, yeah.
So I need to get rid of some of the phthalo green. I
Not
have
too.
trouble with phthalo too.
Well, one time I did a watercolor, and I actually resorted to Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to get the phthalo off.
You almost have to.
I don't think that's gonna work on this. So
I think you guys get it. You guys are in the midtones right now. Right now, keep working your paint. Keep your colors coming. When you get to the, I think you still got to get a little bit cleaner colors down below, right? You haven't gotten to the snow yet, have you?
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wait a second, you did?
Well, can I just scrape some off and put lighter ones over it because it got too gray. Yeah.
Try it, and remember.
Yeah, I have put
did.
some lights on it, but it's there's so much dark underneath it.
Yeah. Try using the eraser a little bit on it.
Okay.
That can do. Try things. This is the one we try things on.
Right.
All right. And good clean fingers when you're doing the top, or you're gonna have to repaint it. Repaint the sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of dirty, but part of it is I drew in the birds and then they got smushed.
Okay. All right.
I'll keep working on it.
Yeah, keep going. It's good.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Hey, Jim.
Mike, you are here. Where are you?
I got my camera on, but I got to flip it around somehow.
Good. That's okay. See this, guys? This is what it's supposed to look like.
Nice job.
Really good color, Mike.
There's a lot of paint on there.
Yeah, it's good and thick. Okay. All right, good. Now that we just want, some of these people have been painting over their paintings. So this way they can't paint over it. They use palette knife so heavy. Good job on that. I would say probably design wise, I'd probably make that little bit bigger, the bottom one. a little bit bigger. The bottom three, yeah. Make
Okay.
them a little taller.
Okay.
Take them up high. Take them up higher. Get a little bit of overlap on the ones in the back, but color-wise, Mike, that's what it's supposed to look like right here. This is what we're supposed to be aiming for. So I'm glad you did it, Mike. Shows me that it can be done.
All right.
Really?
I might let it sit, Jim. There is a lot of paint on there. And then come back tomorrow.
A couple weeks. It'll still be there. I know, Mike. I know.
It's fun though. Thank you.
Good job again. Good work. Oh, let's see, Lisa. Let's see if Lisa did it. Lisa, did you paint?
I did.
Did you use a palette knife?
I'm with
Liar.
I am with the Marshals. I sure did. Look, I did. I'm with the Marshals. This is nothing but a big mess.
It's a good looking mess though. I love your trees in the background. Wow, those got some energy back there, and some of the scratches and stuff, even into the sky. That's nice. And the faded back there, you did nice thing. You did some nice thinking there in the back there. You know, even toning back down those that dark area farther back, even really created a depth and really gave you a place to start to look. When you start looking past these guys, to get past those trees and get you back in that little alleyway, or whatever that's not alleyway, in between the two tree piles. Nice. I love the scratches. They're really interesting. These guys, yeah, just a little bit more work. But
Lisa, I like the foreground. I think you did a good job with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, I think you did a really great job. I think
Not a palette knife.
yeah, still just a few more, just keep going a little bit farther with it. A little bit farther. And then, you know, if you have to bring out a brush, you bring it out, but just see how far you can get.
Okay.
It's beautiful, really. Colors are great. Really nice, soft, some real pastel-y colors. Really good. Looks great like that.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Who's left? Anybody else? I think that's it. I think we scared pretty much everybody off. Who did I miss? Nobody. Okay. Yeah, a bunch of chickens in this world. Too many, way too many. But thanks for joining, and we'll finish these guys up, put them up on the site, and keep having fun or keep trying it. Keep trying to work with it, but you know, if you get to the point you can fix it with a brush, do it. It's not a don't be too crazy with it. You know, but that's about it. Next week we are on to another subject. I'll think of it pretty soon. It might be what?
Nothing?
Muffins?
No, muffins. No, I said nothing.
Nothing. You don't want it. You want to just keep. You're done with me already. I'm sorry. That's it. Nothing. We're not doing it anymore. The revolt starts.
I didn't say anything.
Okay. All right. You know, it was this or a still life or an indoor scene or a nighttime type thing. But I think I'm going to hold off on the nighttime thing because that can be a lot like this one. You know, where you're having a lot of the same colors and nothing reading till the very end. I could probably take it easier on you guys. I will. I promise. Okay. Well, we'll see you all next week. Finish these guys up, and let's you know, still have fun with it. Keep trying with the knife a little bit. I think there's some really great things can happen with it. So
thanks, Jim.
Well, we'll
all right,
keep
guys.
But just think of all the trouble I would get into if I didn't have this to do.
Oh, that's you know, like that's where you signed up so much. That's why.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I told Jack. I could be out gambling or something, you know.
Oh, me too. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway,
I can think of really evil things to do to people, but I don't.
Okay. On those bright words, you guys have a great week,
Thanks, James.
We'll see you guys all next week.
Night, everybody.
Later.
Bye.